Today we're taking a look at these college football matches, which are happening on Wednesday, December 28, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus check out our Patreon in the link down below if you want access for our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation, so make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Texas Tech Red Raiders vs Ole Miss Rebels. The Texas Tech Red Raiders head into this game 7-5 this season. In their last matchup, the Red Raiders played against the Oklahoma Sooners and notched a win by a score of 51-48. Tyler Show finished 31-50th with 436 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He had a QB rating of 144.4 and ended the game with 1 pick. SaRodorick Thompson was the rushing leader for the Red Raiders with 22 totes for 86 yards, 3.9 yards per carry. Overall, they had 96 plays which converted into 599 yards. The Texas Tech Red Raiders ended up running the ball 45 different times and accrued 163 yards, which came out to an average of 3.6 yards per carry. When it came to stopping the run, the Red Raiders conceded 210 yards on 45 tries, which is an average of 4.7 yards per rush surrendered. Texas Tech surrendered 29 completions on 42 attempts for a total of 462 yards and a completion rate of 69.0%. When it comes to scoring points, the Texas Tech Red Raiders have an average of 33.6 ppg. As a unit they average 152.0 yards rushing, which is 67th in D1. The Red Raiders have earned 5,514 total yards this year. When it comes to scoring, Texas Tech has earned 25 passing touchdowns and 25 rushing touchdowns. Texas Tech has accrued 318 first downs as a team, and they have been flagged for 71 penalties for 562 yards. They have turned the ball over 23 different times. When it comes to yards through the air, the Red Raiders are allowing 2,977 yards, which has them ranked 96th in the country. They have relinquished 248.1 yards per game via the pass, as well as allowing a completion percentage of 58.8%. Over the course of this year, they are surrendering 414.5 yards per contest, putting them at 101st in college football. They have allowed 22 touchdowns via the pass, in addition to 16 touchdowns via the ground game. The opposition is running for an average of 4.2 yards per run and 166.4 yards on the ground per game this year. Overall, they have conceded 1,997 running yards through 12 games. The Red Raiders ranked 97th in Division I concerning the opposition scoring, giving up 29.5 points per contest. The Rebels may have limped toward the finish, but one of the country's most difficult schedules down the stretch has definitely primed them for this matchup. The Red Raiders simply lack the defense to slow down Ole Miss in this one, and their ability to run the ball at will and control this game will allow them to come away with the East win. Texas Tech has struggled away from home this season, and even though they remain in state for this one, not having the fans behind them is sure to make a difference. Adding in that they haven't seen a defense with the speed that the Rebels have, everything is trending towards a loss in this one. Additionally, according to covers.com, Texas Tech is 1-6-1 at TS in their last 8 games after scoring more than 40 points in their previous game. Our first pick is Ole Miss, -3.5. The Rebels head into this matchup 8-4 this season. When they last stepped on the field, the Rebels walked away with a loss by a score of 24-22 when they played the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Jackson Dart, 2 touchdowns, walked away from the game with 250 yards on 38 passing, while his QB rate was 151.6. He didn't toss any picks, and his average yards per pass attempt was 6.6. Quinshon Judkins carried the rock 22 times for 91 yards, walking away from the game with 4.1 yards per attempt for Ole Miss. The Rebels finished the game with a total of 335 yards on 78 plays, 4.3 yards per play. Ole Miss ran for 2.0 yards per attempt, finishing with a total of 78 yards on 39 attempts. Ole Miss allowed 37 running attempts for 97 yards, 2.6 yards per rush. The Rebels' secondary allowed a completion percentage of 67.5%, relinquishing 239 yards on 27 out of 40 through the air. Texas Tech has had an up-and-down season, but with a 3-game winning streak to close the season, there's no doubt that they have momentum coming into this one. It doesn't hurt that 2 of the wins were impressive as well, taking down Kansas and Oklahoma, 2 bowl-eligible teams themselves. The non-conference slate saw this group test themselves as well, and the hope is that one of the best schedules in the country has prepared this group for Wednesday's bowl matchup. One concern is how this group has performed away from home this season though. With a 1-4 road record, it remains to be seen how they'll handle a neutral site game, even if played in their home state. It should help that the Red Raiders head into this one without too many key injuries. Baron Morton, ankle, is questionable at quarterback, but with the health improving at that position of late, he isn't expected to play a crucial role in this one anyway. One name to keep an eye on is Tyree Wilson, foot, who has been ruled out for the season. As the team's 4th leading tackler, that's an obvious void that they'll need to fill. There was a time in the fall when Ole Miss was ranked in the top 10 nationally and had their eyes set on NCAA title and CFP berth. Since then, things have drastically changed, and with only 1 win in their last 5 games, it's difficult to know exactly what to expect in this one. 2 of the 4 losses have come by single digits, including a 2-point loss in their rivalry game the last time out. Glaring weaknesses in the passing game, combined with a general lack of luck, have sent this group searching for the best game plan to find the win in this one. Momentum and confidence definitely aren't on their side, but with a month off, they are hoping that they have put some of the issues in November behind them. Much like their opponent in this one, the injury report continues to be kind to them. Michael Trigg, collarbone, remains out at the tight end, though with that injury occurring in early October, the offense has found ways to navigate his absence. In addition, backup kicker Caden Costa, suspension, will miss this one as well. The Ole Miss Rebels hold an average of 491.3 yards per outing, which has them sitting 8th in the nation. The Ole Miss offense has accrued 740 yards of penalties on 82 violations, which has them ranked 32nd in college football in terms of making mistakes. During this campaign so far, the Rebels have thrown for 2,756 yards via the pass, as well as an average of 229.7 throwing yards per outing, which ranks 66th in college football. Regarding the points being put on the board, the Rebels are ranked 28th in the nation, holding an average of 34.2 points per game. Ole Miss has allowed the opposition a total of 1,942 yards on the ground, 161.8 yards per contest, and 16 touchdowns via the rush on the campaign. They have allowed 22 touchdowns through the air and 218.0 yards game, which has them ranked 57th in the country. The Rebels' defense has been on the field for 859 plays, ranking them 93rd in the nation. The Rebels are relinquishing 24.2 points per game, which has them sitting 51st in D1. Over the course of the season, they have conceded 290 PTS. The under also makes a lot of sense in this spot. As I detailed in my point spread write-up, I expect Texas Tech to have a lot of success running the ball because Ole Miss has been getting gashed recently. That will keep the clock churning in this one, and the Rebels want to run the ball a lot as well. Only one of Texas Tech's 12 games this season has seen more than 73 total points scored, and their defense is better than you might think. Just a couple of games ago against Iowa State, they only gave up 10 points. This is the worst passing attack we've seen from a Lane Kiffin offense in quite some time, and Jackson Dart isn't scaring anybody. Our second pick is under 71 points.